And all of us are joined together by many things we have in common. Every one of us has 2 ears and only 1 mouth, because we're supposed to listen twice as much as we talk. Listening is very important. So I thought I would share first a story with you today that has to do with listening, but before I share it, I want to make sure that everybody is awake and listening. So if I say ho, I want you to say hey. Ho? Hey. Ho? Hey. Ho? Hey. This story is an old story. It comes from a time ago. A long time ago. A long time ago, they say, there was someone named Turtle. And Turtle was a turtle. And there was one thing in those days Turtle liked doing more than anything else. He liked to talk. He was always talking and talking, talking and talking. In fact, he would talk when there was nothing worth talking about. He would say, "I, Turtle, am out walking around. As I am walking around, I'm moving 1 foot and another foot and another foot and another foot, and I'm walking while I'm talking, and I'm talking about walking, and I'm talking about walking and talking." You see my point? Turtle was always talking and talking and talking and talking. Now this one day, when Turtle woke up and began walking around and talking, of course, he saw something. There was a big tree. Ho? Hey. And that tree had no leaves. Why were there no leaves on that tree? Because it was fall, and the tree's leaves fall off in fall. But that tree was not empty. It was full of birds. There were so many birds in that tree that Turtle was really interested. He said, "Oh, look at all the birds in that tree. I wonder what those birds are going to do. I, Turtle, would like to know very much what those birds are going to do, and I'm talking about wondering what those birds are going to do in that tree, who are all gathered together, and I wonder what they're going to do." And Turtle just kept talking and talking and talking and talking. Now, in that tree, there was one little bird who was a helpful little bird. And that helpful little bird heard what Turtle said. And that little bird said, "Turtle wants to know what we birds are going to do, so I will fly down and tell him right now." And that bird, ho, flew out of the tree, ho, and landed in front of Turtle, ho, and looked up at him, ready to tell Turtle what those birds were going to do. And Turtle said, "Oh, look, a little bird has come down from the tree. It's sitting on the ground and looking at me, and I'm looking at the bird that's looking at me, and I'm talking about looking at the bird that's looking at me, that little bird that flew down from the tree that's sitting on the ground and looking at me." And Turtle just kept talking and talking and talking and talking, while that little bird waited very patiently. But did Turtle stop talking? No. He just kept talking and talking and talking and talking. And that little bird realized it would have to do something. And so it took a deep breath, and it went squawk in a really loud voice. So loud, is anyone injured out there? So loud that Turtle just shut his mouth in surprise and stopped talking. And very quickly, that little bird said, Turtle, you want to know what we birds are going to do? We are gathering together to fly together to a place where it is warm and there's lots of good food to eat. Oh, Turtle heard what that bird said. And Turtle said, oh, can I come with you? I like places where it is warm, and I'm very good at eating food also. I would really like to come with you to that place where it is warm and there is food. In fact, I, Turtle, am very good at eating food. I can eat hard food and soft food and cold food and warm food. Indeed, I am very good at even talking about food. I can even talk while I am eating food. And Turtle just kept talking and talking and talking and talking. While that little bird patiently waited for Turtle to stop. But did Turtle stop? Oh, no, he just kept talking. And so, you know what that little bird did. He took a deep breath once again and went squawk in a really loud voice. And this time, once again, Turtle stopped talking. And that little bird said, Turtle, I have an idea. Wait here, and I will come right back. And that little bird flew up into the tree and spoke to two big birds. And those two big birds listened, and they agreed. And pretty soon, down from that tree came flying not one bird, but three. And they landed in front of him, and those two big birds were holding between them, between their feet, a stick. And they landed in front of Turtle. And Turtle said, oh, look, the little birds come back from the tree, and there are two big birds with a little bird, and they have a stick, and they're sitting in front of me. And I'm looking at those three birds that flew down from the tree that have a stick that are looking at me, and I'm talking about looking at those birds that flew down from the tree, they have the stick that are looking at me. And Turtle just kept talking and talking and talking and talking. And once again, that little bird realized it would have to do something and be ready. Quack! In a really loud voice. That little bird made that sound, and once again, Turtle was surprised. He stopped talking, closed his mouth, and that little bird said, Turtle, if you can grab onto this stick and not let go, we will take you with us. And Turtle said, oh, I am very good at biting down on things. In fact, when I bite down on things, I never let go until I'm ready to let go. And they shoved the stick in his mouth and said, bite. And he went, as soon as he bit down on that stick, he stopped talking. And those birds, those two big birds holding that stick, began to flap their wings. The little bird said, Turtle, hold on, don't let go. And those birds rose up into the sky with Turtle holding on to that stick, carried up into the sky with those birds. Oh, this was wonderful, Turtle thought. I'm going south. He thought, but he did not say that. And he was watching the ground underneath him. He was thinking, I didn't know it's so easy to fly. But as they went along, those birds kept flying, ho, and flying, ho, and flying, ho. And that turtle began to wonder something. Now, you young people, have you ever gone any place or gotten in the car maybe to go someplace really neat, like a wonderful amusement park or some real special place where they've got ice cream and candy and really cool things? Well, that's an experience we've all had. But have you ever noticed when you get in that car and start going and your parents keep driving and driving and driving and you're still not there? There's one thing that you want to ask them. It is, when are we going to get there? And that's what Turtle wanted to know. He wanted to know, when are we going to get there? But could he ask? Oh, nah. He had to hold on to that stick. But then he got an idea. Now, you may not know this, but there is something called American Indian or Native American Sign Language. Like this is bird. And this is yes. And this is no. I'm doing a little. There's tree, for example. And Turtle decided he would ask his question using sign language, but not human sign language. He would use turtle sign language, which, as every turtle can tell you, is far superior to human sign language. And so, looking to his right, he thought, that bird looks pretty smart, I'll ask him. And he held out his foot, and in perfectly clear, easy to understand turtle sign language, he asked, when are we going to get there? But that bird just kept flying, and Turtle thought, what a stupid bird. Very rude. He looked over to the other side. He thought, well, this bird looks smarter. I'll ask him. And so in perfectly clear, easy to understand Turtle sign language, Turtle stuck out his other foot and asked, when are we going to get there? But that bird just kept flying. Ho! And Turtle thought, just my luck, 2 stupid birds. But this time, he held out all 4 feet, and in perfectly clear, easy to understand, Turtle sign language asked, when are we going to get there? But those birds just kept flying. And Turtle lost his temper, and he said, when are we, because as soon as he opened his mouth and let go of that stick, he started to fall. Down, down, down toward the ground far below. Luckily for Turtle, just then they were flying over a big swamp. He landed in that mud kersplat so hard that his shell got all cracked. You know, it's still cracked to this day. But he crawled down, dug into the mud, fell asleep, slept all through the winter when the snow came down. And when the sun shone down in spring and that snow melted away, Turtle crawled out and looked around, and the first thing he saw was a tree full of birds. And he looked at that tree, and he did not say a word. And ever since then, you can check and see if this is true. You will never find either a turtle talking or one flying south with the birds again.